Be still and know that I am God. Have you ever thought about the effect of social media on our hearts? Maybe your feelings of stress, anxiety, depression, or spiritual lethargy just might have a connection to social media. While fasting is most associated with food, fasts can also include abstinence from intercourse or unhealthy relationships. In this video, we will look at the benefits of a social media fast. Since Jesus talks about when you fast, a lot of Christians believe that fasting should be a regular part of one's spiritual life, just like reading the Bible and spending time in prayer. The Bible also talks about fasting as a way to prepare for ministry, to seek God's wisdom, to show grief, to seek protection, and to worship God. Without even noticing, using social media may feel like it provides certain benefits, such as a means to fill the void of isolation. It may be key to your sense of value or worth, and it may serve as a way to take a break from real life. However, these benefits should rather be attained by connecting with God. So let's dive into the purpose of fasting. You may decide to do a fast whenever you need clarity from God on a particular decision or for a particular area in life. So if you have a big decision to make and you want to make sure you hear God speak to you, doing a social media fast may help eliminate the noise and distraction from social media so you can hear from God more clearly. It is uncomfortable to fast, whatever you are choosing to fast from. Don't be surprised that when you choose to fast, you find an insatiable hunger for that very thing. But that is exactly where you want to be. That is where you will learn, discover, and grow the most. Expect to struggle, but then let that struggle propel you to God. When we fast, we allow ourselves to become aware of what we long for. As long as we keep eating, we will not feel hungry, but once we stop, we see more clearly what it is we are searching for. As John Piper says, Christian fasting is a test to see what desires control us. But fasting is not meant to just reveal our idols. It gives us a choice to pursue that which truly satisfies. This is how fasting actually can draw us close to God, for it forces us to decide where or to whom we will turn for the satisfaction that fasting reveals. So when you realize that you are longing for the approval of others, you can use this as an opportunity to turn to God instead to find that approval. Fasting is not meant to be a way to get something from God. Rather, it is a humble response to God. It is a physical posture or action that expresses our spiritual desire. When we fast from social media, it is a practical way we are expressing our desire for Him, a desire for more of Him. Therefore, enter into the fast with the purpose of spiritual growth. There are many spiritual reasons to do a fast. Fasting is a way to express both sorrow at the sins it surfaces, as well as an opportunity to turn back to God in repentance and faith to pursue Him more faithfully. Even if you are not tempted by social media, you may wish to consider fasting as a form of training. In the space that is created by fasting from social media, what will you pursue instead? When deciding if you should do a social media fast, pray and ask God how long you should fast for. Before doing any type of fast, it's important to pray and make sure it's something you feel called to do. If you're just fasting because someone told you that you should fast, or even because it sounds good after watching this video, your heart may not be doing it for the right reasons. You will get the most out of a social media fast if you truly have the desire to give up social media to spend more time with God. If the idea of fasting is daunting, start with a short period of fasting and then increase the length. As you consider your social media usage, you may wish to note how frequently you naturally check your social media. What are your patterns? Do you check hourly, on your lunch break, before going to bed at night? Once you have figured this out, then challenge yourself to either cut out one of your usual sessions, like foregoing your pre-bed check, or go cold turkey and cut it all out for a day. If you make it through one day, then challenge yourself to do a week, then a month. Because fasting is meant to drive us to God, then every time you feel that urge to check, then train yourself instead to look to God. Confess your desire and then ask Him to help you make the most of this opportunity to learn and grow by asking questions such as, what am I thinking at this time? And what is behind my impulse to check? Am I feeling discontentment? What do I feel like I am missing? Am I feeling anxious or insecure? What about? This is where the insights often come. By letting your hunger move you towards God, you can make the most of your time. Besides asking questions, or after you have done this hard work, take yet another step forward by filling the vacuum with something that will benefit your soul. Text or call up a real friend if you seek connection. Play a game with your child. Listen to worship music or a podcast. While fasting for spiritual reasons should be the main focus, you'll be able to reap several other benefits during a social media fast. Reduced anxiety is one of the biggest benefits you should experience from doing a social media fast. According to Addiction Center, excessive social media use can not only cause unhappiness and a general dissatisfaction with life in users, but also increase the risk of developing mental health issues such as anxiety and depression. Constantly comparing oneself to others can lead to feelings of self-consciousness or a need for perfectionism and order, which often manifests as social anxiety disorder. Another aspect of social anxiety triggered by online media use is the fear of missing out, FOMO, the extreme fear of not being included or missing a social event. How can you take a social media break when people are expecting you to show up? You should share a post or story, letting your audience know that you are taking a break. It's kind of like setting up an out-of-office email when you go on vacation at work. Social media shows everyone's highlight reels, and it's easy to start comparing your life to someone else's. We can often forget that these reels and posts are heavily edited versions of someone's lives, or sometimes they are staged photos altogether. And all this comparison and jealousy only makes us feel worse about our own lives. The ongoing exposure to unrealistic beauty standards through social networking sites can affect how teenagers perceive their own bodies. We live in a busy world with more distractions than ever. Pause for a second and think of all the notifications, texts, and emails you get on a daily basis. A social media fast will help eliminate distractions and give you more time to focus on what really matters. If you truly want to limit distractions, you could even consider switching your phone to silent mode or turning off email and text notifications as well. Imagine being able to read or walk on the beach without any distractions. And imagine being able to get your work done faster since you were able to focus. You will experience more peace in your life already after only a few days of social media fasting. Once you start your social media fast, get ready to instantly feel more at ease. Just like with any fast, the main purpose of a social media fast should be to spend more time with God. And without being on social media all the time, you don't have any excuse for not devoting time to God. If you're not sure how to spend your time with God, consider starting a new Bible study as you do your fast. If you're fasting for clarity or breakthrough in a specific area, it's helpful to increase your knowledge by following a course in that specific area. Social media does not replace the interactions we have with people in real life. And if you were using social media to replace other relationships in your life, that can only make you feel lonelier and prevent you from forming true, deep friendships. During a social media fast, pray and consider which relationships you want to invest more time in. Make plans to meet and hang out in person, and notice how you feel after. Come near to God, and He will come near to you. Thank you for joining me on this journey of drawing closer to God by stepping back from social media. If you're ready to start a social media fast, take that first step today and invite God to fill that space.